Okay, in this video we're going to look at a couple examples of how we can do curve sketching. So sketching is used to show the general shape of the curve, and it shows some key values, but it's not an accurate drawing, so you're not doing a table of values or anything like that. So it's just a real general idea of the shape of the curve. So with four graphs here, with two quadratic ones and with two cubic ones. Your general equation of quadratic is here. Y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So if the coefficient of the x squared term is positive, so if a is greater than 0, it's a U-shaped graph for a quadratic. If it's a negative quadratic, so if the a is less than 0, it's an N-shaped graph, so a negative quadratic is an N-shaped. And then you have two examples of cubic graphs here. This is a positive cubic, and this is a negative cubic. And they're not always as extreme as this, but generally a cubic will have a maximum point and a minimum point. Here you can see it's a minimum point and a maximum point. But it goes up and then down and up again if it's a positive cubic, and then it goes down and then up and then down again if it's a negative cubic. Okay, when you're curve sketching, you need to have a few things that are important to find. You've got to find out where it crosses the x-axis, where it crosses the y-axis, and then if there's any turning points, such as a minimum, a maximum, or a maximum and a minimum, you have to find these as well. So we're going to look at an example of how we do this. So we will get started this now. So in this example it says, for the curve y is equal to x plus 4 upon x plus 1, find where the curve crosses the x-axis. Now you find out where you cross the x-axis by putting y equal to 0, which means 0 is equal to x plus 4 upon x plus 1, which means x plus 4 equals 0, so x equals minus 4, x plus 1 equals 0, x equals minus 1. So your coordinates are going to be, your answer for the first bit is going to be minus 4, 0, and minus 1, 0. Okay, part B says find where the curve crosses the y-axis. So to find out where it crosses the y-axis, just put x equal to 0. So your y now becomes 0 plus 4 upon 0 plus 1, which is just 4 times 1, which is equal to 4. So your answer for this bit is just 0, 4. So you've got 3 points. To be honest, you could draw a pretty good sketch at this stage, but we're going to go on and we're going to do a wee bit more digging here. So in part C, it says find the location and nature of any turning points. First thing I'm going to have to do is multiply out my curve. So I had the brackets in my curve. So it's x plus 4 upon x plus 1. Multiply that out. You're going to get x squared plus x plus 4x plus 4. Tidy up. You're going to get x squared plus 5x plus 4. What you then need to do is find dy by dx. The reason you need to find dy by dx is we want to find when dy by dx is equal to 0. So differentiate your y to get dy by dx. You're going to get 2x plus 5, and then put 2x plus 5 equal to 0, which means 2x is equal to minus 5, which means x itself is equal to minus 2.5. And also I'll find the y value now for that. So I'll say when x equals minus 2.5, my y value is equal to, and I'm using this one up here to find my y value. I'll just put it into this. You could put it back into the original one. I just think it's easier to put it into this one when you've got a calculator and you're allowed to use it. So minus 2.5 squared plus 5 times minus 2.5 plus 4. And when I did that, what I got was minus 2.25. Okay. I will go up here and do the next bit. I've still got to see if that's maximum or minimum. So I'm going to find my d2y by dx squared. To find your d2y by dx squared, you just differentiate your dy by dx. dy by dx was 2x plus 5. If you differentiate that with respect to x, you get 2, which is greater than 0. Therefore, your point, the x value is minus 2.5, and minus 2.25 is a minimum turning point. Okay, right, let's just look at what we've got before we sketch this. We've got our it crosses the x-axis at minus 4, 0, minus 1, 0, crosses the y-axis at 0, 4, and it has a minimum turning point of minus 2.5, minus 2.25. So we can mark all of these things on our sketch, remember, and it is just a sketch. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark those on, those basic points, and then we'll draw the curve. Okay, you can see now my curve I've drawn on. This was minus 4, 0, this was minus 1, 0, this was 0, 4 on my y-axis, and this was our minimum turning point of minus 2.5, minus 2.25. So I'm now going to go on and draw my curve. I will pause the video and do this because it's very hard to do it on a computer screen. Okay, you can see I have drawn a fairly bad looking curve, but it still goes through minus 4 my x-axis, minus 2.5, minus 2.25 as my minimum point. Try and get that smooth so it does round off, but you should avoid having just a flat edge on the bottom, and then it curves around very jaggedy there. It goes through minus 1 and up through 4 on the y-axis. The other key thing I've done is I've labeled my curve, and generally it's good practice to label your curve as it is given in the question. You're not going to lose any marks if you write your curve whereas in this form, but it's just generally it's good to write it whatever way they give it to you. Okay folks, you're now ready to do exercise 8C.